I need you to understand this. This is going to tie into the video from what's her name, from Jen Psaki. I want you to listen to this video, and then we'll tie it into the other video. Check it out.
4 states will drop out of the program that offers extra benefits to people who lost their jobs because of the pandemic. Over the next few weeks, a total of 25 states will stop delivering the extra $300 a week offered by the federal government, and more states could decide to follow suit. This comes as the government reported today that employers added 559,000 new jobs last month alone, and the unemployment rate fell to 5.8%. Let's start with this cutoff of the enhanced unemployment benefits. How much of a role is that playing in what seems to be, by most people's estimates, a modest jobs recovery? And what could the cutoff mean for hiring down the line?
Well, so this is an interesting question, my friend. We'll know the end of this experiment by the end of July because everybody will have cut it out by then. But let's take a look at the map of the states that are cutting off the enhanced benefit. It's $300 a week, and if you earn that in addition to the $300 state benefit you're getting $600 a week, which, by the way, is exactly $15 an hour, right? Most service workers do not earn $15 an hour in this country. So the argument is that as long as these enhanced benefits are out there, folks are taking the benefits as opposed to working. We'll know more about how true that is, because if you look at the states that are cutting off the enhanced benefits and look at the calendar of it, you'll find that by July 19th or so, most of them will be done. So for the unemployment report that we get at the beginning of September, we'll know how it fared for August, and we'll know whether people are staying home or not for reasons other than the enhanced benefits. There's probably some truth to it, Eamon, because you can't get $15 an hour working at most bars and restaurants, but you can get $15 an hour if you have enhanced benefits. There are lots of complicated reasons why that's good or bad, but it may be having some effect on the fact that the unemployment, the job creation rate was not as big last month as it should be. One thing I always want to remind people, don't pay too much attention to the unemployment rate on a month-to-month basis because the denominator changes. So it's not that important that it's, 5.8% as opposed to something higher.
Okay, so let's pull out and look at a big picture here for a moment, because you had the May's jobs report. It was much better than April's report, but the U.S. still has 7.6 million fewer jobs than it did before the pandemic. That's the total number. What does this tell us about the overall state of the U.S. jobs market?
Increasing, going up in the right direction. So for most people out there watching, what do they care mostly about? That's the pattern of job losses over the last year. But let's take a look at average hourly earnings, right? That's the thing most people care about. If unemployment is low, your earnings generally go up. And we have seen over the course of the last year, average monthly earnings, hourly earnings actually going up. So this is a bit of a tug of war. Stephanie Rule was talking about this earlier today. It's a tug of war between employers and employees. Employees are hoping that employers will pay more money to get them to work.
Okay, it is important for us to understand what went on there. First of all, Velchi said, yeah, there's a possibility that paying people all that money to stay home makes sense for them to stay home. Let's hold that for a minute, because as it turns out, I always thought that paying people a certain amount would have them stay home. Otherwise, it'll raise it makes them stay home unless you have a raise in the rates. But we'll talk about that when we talk about Jen Psaki. What I want to talk about is having all these governors that decided they are going to take money away from their citizens, money that's already there for their citizens. So remember what this means. Your politician in your state, your Republican politician in your state, is telling a lot of people in that state that unless you go get a job, likely a job that's going to pay you less than what you are going to get from the relief fund, you are just going to get nothing, even though that money is already there. So I am willing to crater my economy with less cash flow because of an ideological belief that I want you off your butt to work, and I don't want to force employers to give you a living wage. It's important for us. We make that a story, right? In other words, there's a story. Okay, Republican governors are taking away the enhanced unemployment, and the story ends. Every single Democrat should be in front of a TV screen. Every single progressive right now should be in front of a TV screen and saying, they're taking your baby's money. They're taking your baby's food. They're taking your baby's wealth. They're taking this away from you. We should be out there talking about these guys are willfully taken away from the average working class to ensure that the capital class continues to keep their capital, as opposed to sharing their capital with those who have made the capital for them. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.